Okay, let's begin. Right. Last time that we have discussed about CIDR notation, classless interdomain routing, and after that we need to continue the other parts now. Actually, I just said you about this physical address, which is MAC address, which is unique to the interface. And other than the IP address, they in all these interfaces are having a physical address called MAC address. That is 48-bit, and the format of MAC address is this. So you are writing in hexadecimal into 6 portions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 portions in hexadecimal, two digits, and separated by semicolons. And that is how we are writing 12 hexadecimal digits, 2 by 2. We are separating using the colon, and that is ultimately 48 bits long hexadecimal. 48 bits long address in binary. So this MAC address is basically assigned to each and every interface, especially in these investigations and all, criminal investigations or computer forensics. So this MAC address is kind of very useful thing because this physical address, so we assume that it cannot be altered, but there are ways of changing that. But normally, unlike the virtual address or the logical address called IP address can be reassigned, can be changed easily, it can be altered. But this physical address is normally fixed to the interface. It's interface dependent address. So in order to find the device, we can use this physical address. Actually, so in the normal networks, so before they join to the local area network, when a new computer is connected to the network, it will send its physical address and ask for a logical address. That is called ARP request, address resolution protocol. Actually, it's asking, hey, I joined to the network. Can you give me an IP address? And as a result, if DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, DHCP is available on the particular network, DHCP will automatically send, DHCP server will automatically send an IP address. Keep this IP address with you. Then after that, related to that particular physical address, there will be a corresponding logical address or the IP address assigned. Actually, just make it short. When a new computer joined to a computer, when the new computer joined the local area network, the new computer will tell everyone, hey, I joined, and this is my physical address. And then if DHCP server is available in the particular network, the DHCP server responds, hey, keep this address. Then the particular physical address will be mapped to a logical address, IP address. That is what happening. And if DHCP server is not available, then automatic joining to the network is not possible. Then you have to manually assign a logical address to join the network. Actually, without the logical address, it's not possible to join the network. Only with the physical address, it cannot be kept. So you need to assign a physical address manually in that case, where the DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, is not available, then it's required to assign IP address. Okay. So these are the important protocols. So if you have not written down previously, I would like you to write down this, because you need to write down and remember. IP, we just learned Internet Protocol. That is the protocol which is assigning IP addresses, and also that IP protocol, Internet Protocol, will allow, in addition to assign the IP addresses, Internet Protocol will allow packet switching, allow the data to be like data and information to be transferred, to divide into small chunks, manageable chunks called packets. So why? Because when you asked to swallow a loaf of bread, so is it possible to swallow the entire bread once, or are you going to take piece by piece? So what's your way of eating a bun or eating a bread? Are you going to take the entire one at once, or just take in piece by piece? Hello?
Piece by piece.
Yeah, what's the reason? Because it's easy to swallow, right? Otherwise, if you try to swallow the entire thing at once, then what will happen? It will shrunk. Similar to that, the networks, it's not possible to transfer the entire call file as a one set. It's not possible. So what the network is doing, it's dividing into small manageable parts called packets. That's what the network does. And after that, it will transfer. Okay. Then, so HTTP and HTTPS protocols are responsible for transferring hypertext web documents. So what's the difference between HTTPS and HTTP? Yes. What is the difference between HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol, and hypertext transfer protocol secure version? So what is the difference? Yes. Yes.
So HTTP is less secure.
Okay, you can say HTTP is less secure, HTTPS is more secure. What actually happened? HTTP send data as plain text. Right? If HTTP is there, okay, let's say NIE.lk, and when I go there to another one, so here you can see some information. So whatever information that is sent here, courses, online. Okay, basically it's sending data. Here it's sending data as plain text. Sometimes using the GET request, sometimes using the POST request. Anyway, it's sending data, right? It is sending data using plain text. Plain text means readable text. Readable text. Anyone can read that. But when HTTPS is there, so let me show something with HTTPS here. Padlock appears when HTTPS is there. If you search something, can you see the data sent here is basically jumbled. It's not just refer to this part. Can you read and understand this text? It has some letters, that is true. But can you read and understand? What's the message there?
No, sir.
So it's called encrypted. The message is encrypted. Normally you cannot read and understand. That is the nature of HTTPS. Just showing some samples, right? So maybe that is not the exact example for the HTTP and HTTPS, but just understand in HTTP, it's sending data as a plain text where everyone can read and understand. But in HTTPS, it's sending data as encrypted text where someone in the middle cannot read and understand what the particular person has sent. That is the nature of HTTPS. That is what the encryption is. Security means that it's encrypted, ensured that the data that you are sending is not plain text. Here actually it's send in plain text. I will write here. It's send in plain text. But here in the IP, it's packet switching. Packet switching and addressing. And then the next one is sending the plain text. And here HTTPS is basically HTTPS hypertext transfer protocol. Secure version is sending encrypted text, which is jumbled. Then FTP, file transfer protocol. It's allowing you to send and receive the files and receive files over the internet. So send and receive files over the internet. That is the duty of FTP. If I have any software, I can show you how it works. I think it's not there. So let's search in, maybe I have downloaded and kept somewhere. Just let me search file. Yeah, I have that FileZilla app. Actually, FileZilla is basically a client and server environment which support file transferring. You can see it looks like Windows Explorer. Here, this is in this side, the right side, or you can see the left side. Left side is basically showing my documents. So in my computer, the documents in my computer or my Mac. So it's these are the documents. But if I connect to a remote host, let's find a remote host. Anonymous FTP. Basically, it's lazy. See it like FTP logins. So let's find some anonymous FTP sites. Anonymous means like it's without authentication, it will allow you to log in and see the website. There are some sites like that. I'm not sure whether. So let's have a list. Okay. It seems like here this FTP service with anonymous address. So let's try Slackware. Like I can type this FTP host name here, and I can connect. Okay. Port is 21, right? Port means like the gate. You know the firewall. Firewall will open the gate. The open gate is 21 for this. And once you connect to the particular FTP server, you can see this is the server side. This is your side. This is server side. So basically, if this allow writing, you can just drag and drop files from here to here, and also you can drag and drop files from here to here. Both ways possible. You can drag and drop files from the server to client or client to server. Can you see? There are some folders. You can just go there and try to grab files from here to here. So can you understand what's the difference between general file downloading provided in the website and this FTP service?
Yes, sir.
Right. In general file downloading service, normally you have to visit the website, click and download the file. That is the nature. But here in the FTP, you have to connect to the FTP server. Sometimes these FTP servers are providing usernames and password where you need to put that username and password, especially. So if you are in university, if you are in a university, they will give you a FTP server, username and password there. You can connect and download files from their FTP server, right? So these are some FTP server software programs that you can download and use. Those are free. So is there anonymous FTP sites for movies? You can just check. So if there are 50 sites to download software, games, movies. Let's go to the second one. I think the ProHack provides better set of lists. You can see here there are some music, games, and software. Right, let's see here: games, patches, MP3, music, patches, anything for movies. Tools means I think software, right? Okay, let's copy the address and try to access this. Basically, these sites are providing. Okay, I'm trying to connect. You can try these links right later. Just try to discover any valid FTP servers if available. Sometimes it's possible to connect, but sometimes not. Yeah, it says connecting, but so do I need to have any username, password there? Seems not. Just give a try. Some of these might work. Right? Some of these might work. Some of these might not. Okay, here they're asking the username, password. I'm connecting as a guest. Let's try. If it works, connect as a guest. Sometimes you need registered username and user account to connect. Sometimes, but sometimes not. Let's give a try. So actually Apple in Finder you can open. These sometimes it might support. Okay, it's trying to connect. Seems like we need authentication to connect these things. Sometimes they have put passwords and all. So if not, it will open. Let it be. Let it try, and like get something maybe positive or negative anyway that will display you the results. Let's move to the note until it tries. Okay, now you see the FTP, and there's another one, Tribal File Transfer Protocol, that is also TFTP, another version of FTP. And in the FTP also there is a SSH secure version of File Transfer Protocol, which is like encrypted path. SSL sometimes like it's a encrypted channel. So basically it's not like connecting, just directly connecting, but it has encryption too for the security. DNS, the domain name system, which convert IP to domain, domain to IP, that is essential service. And transmission control protocol is ensuring these IP packets are reliably delivered. Basically, we call that as a connection-oriented protocol. Right? It's a connection-oriented protocol. Why it is connection oriented? Because it will make the path, because it will create a virtual circuit or path before sending and receiving packets. And packets are transmitted over that path. So it's actually making it's like a bus route. Creating 100, you know, the bus route number 1 is Kandy Colombo. Bus route number 6 is Kurunegala. Right? Likewise, it has a path. Using this path that it has created, it's transmitting the file. And UDP is a connection loss protocol. But less reliable and faster. The reason is it's connection-less protocol, no path at all. Okay, connection-less. Actually, no path. It's not creating any path before communicating. It's not creating any path before communicating. Therefore, it's faster and used for video streaming like thing. ARP, I said, address resolution protocol, and that is the one which is converted MAC to IP, IP to MAC. And again, there's another one called reverse address resolution protocol, because MAC to IP and IP to MAC conversion, like other way it's reverse address resolution. RIP is not rest in peace, it is router information protocol. That is just sharing the router traffics. Router traffic status, the easiest path to particular servers, all these are shared using RIP. DHCP, dynamic host configuration protocol, that I said, automatically assigning the address. SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. SMTP transfers the email between servers. Actually, you can say send in email. It transfers emails between servers or send in emails. There are 2 protocols to receive emails. One is IMAP, Internet Mail Access Protocol, POP, Post Office Protocol, that is also receiving emails. Out of that, POP is basically downloading original copy of an email to our computer for the application. Here actually accessing emails by keeping it in the email server. It's not downloading, no, it's getting a copy only. It's getting a copy only, it's not downloading, it's getting a copy only. That is the main difference between POP and IMAP. So basically POP, here you can see in POP, so see the image, IMAP is basically accessing the emails, keeping in the computer, but POP is basically fetching and downloading the email. That's the difference. It will not keep copies in, the server. Instead of that, it will download the one to the client. Yeah. Ports are different, but they will not ask about that. Messages can be accessed via the IMAP variety of devices. Mail can only be accessed using a single device. Why? Because it downloaded. After that, the email is not there. Before we finish download, you can read the email. But once message has been downloaded, only you can read the email. So that's the difference between POP and IMAP. Telnet is basically remote access. If you want remotely, without physically going into the location, if you need to access a computer and pass a message, we are using Telnet. And the next one is ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol. That is basically checking the connectivity. Example, the ping request is basically sent by this ICMP protocol. Right? Actually, what is protocol? Protocol is a set of rules. Actually, in this ICMP ping request, this is also asked in the examination. That is why I have added. In the ping request, they will ask what is TTL. TTL means time to leave. After this, it will be discarded. That means when ping request packet is sent, it will wait this amount of time, TTL amount of time. Here, TTL amount of time 103. And after that, it will think the message is discarded. Time is basically round trip time to go and come back, to packet to go and the respond to come. So what is the time? That is called round trip time or round trip delay. Okay, those are about the protocols. I think you have to copy this. Protocol is basically a set of rules, including the ICMP part. Can you please write down quickly? Please tell me when finished. I didn't check the messages. Right, okay. TTL, this one. TTL and it round trip time. So please note that I couldn't give that part. TTL and round trip time. Okay. TTL means time to leave. So then that is the discarding time. And round trip time is basically to send the message and get the acknowledgement. What is the time that you okay. So then the network devices, actually this part is easy, like I'll quickly go through, no need to write on anything on this. There are two kind of devices. One is end user devices, where actually it's used by the users. Intermediate devices, basically that is used by the infrastructure. NIC, wireless NIC, Wi-Fi modules, these are different kind of NICs, network interface cards, which will allow you to ultimately generate and receive the network signal. That is at the end. And network hub or switch, those are in the middle. Hub and switch are basically equal in functionality, but switch is more intelligent, as switch can unicast, send to one person, broadcast, send to all, and multicast, send to many. Like selectively it can decide. Selectively it can decide what to do, switch, but hub is broadcasting, sending to everyone. When a message received to hub, it's sending everyone. When message received to switch, it will selectively, it will read the message, understand the destination, and only send to the destination. That is the difference. That is the difference between switch and hub. Actually, we can write more differences, like switch is expensive, hub is relatively inexpensive, switch is intelligence, hub is relatively less intelligent, switch is faster and hub is slower, switch has less traffic but hub has more traffic. So likewise, we can write many other points too. Router is basically connecting two different networks. Basically LAN and WAN, LAN and PAN, PAN and WAN, PAN and WAN, WAN and MAN. So likewise, it's connecting two different kind of networks. It's taking signal from one network and broadcasting some other, and also taking signal from one network and also sending to other networks. That is the nature of router. Actually, it also find the best route, not the shortest, right? Sometimes you have misunderstanding, like it router finds the what you call the best shortest path. No, it's not the shortest path. So without finding the shortest path, it just to finding the best route or the fastest. Then gateway is also kind of a network where it is between two different networks. So one kind of gateway is a proxy type gateway, so which will allow you to filter and apply different rules. So it's acting as a proxy. And actually then not only that, there can be some other servers, even routers can be used as can be configured as a gateway is basically gate to external network, gate to the external network. Right, different type of and size of the networks. This also we have discussed previously. PAN or DAN is the smallest personal area network of the desktop area network. It's distributed just within a single geographical location, relatively small location. Then another thing is a LAN, local area network within a building or specific local area. You call that a LAN, local area. Then the MAN, metropolitan area network, a network within a city, or network within a metropolitan area, city, town, village, some managed area, metropolitan area. So that is MAN. And SAN is a storage area network. Basically, it is connecting storage devices. There are two things, SAN and NAS. So SAN is basically SAN is storage area network, and NAS is network attached storage. So what's the difference? Right here, network attached storage is basically it is a storage set of storage devices. Can you see here? It's attached to the network, and you keep adding devices to this to increase the network capacity. Keep adding the NAS device, and it's easier. It's a file system basically. It's a file system. It's easier to manage. That is network attached storage. All the network servers, computers are sharing the storage in the NAS. SAN is storage area network. Actually, that is a network of storage devices. Can you see? Here in NAS, it is not network in the storage. It is basically a storage attached to the network. But here in if this is in NAS, in SAN, it is basically there's a switch, and this switch, multiple network storages are connected. Actually, storages are also network. Here, no network for the storage. There is a network for that network. There's a storage attached. But here, there's a network to that network. There are storages attached, and these storages are also networked. Storages are also connected. And CAN, or campus area network, according to the Columbia University, and that is also called controller area network. Control area means a car, vehicle, car, ship, then a plane can have this kind of controller area network. Then the largest one is WAN, wide area network. That is basically a network within a large geographical area. A network within a large geographical area we call as wide area network. Internet is example for wide area network. Okay, I hope we have explained everything related to networks and nature. And another device is a firewall that also we have discussed previously. That is basically, it's like your wall in your house. In your house, there are windows and doors. That means these are like ports. In computer, these are like ports. These windows and doors are like ports. These ports are basically enabling different services. Can you see port 80 for web, port 21 for file transfer, port 24 file transfer command control, port 53 for DNS, port 443 for HTTPS, port 25 for email. Likewise, different gates are there. So you can selectively decide. You can decide. Actually, you can decide which gates to open, which gates to close, which gates to open and which gates to close. The idea of this is basically when you open the gate, it will allow the packets to come in and communicate. But if you close the gate, that packet will not be concerned. That packet will be blocked. So that is good for the security. Firewall is protecting our internal network from the external. So you know why walls are there in a house? Because we are protected from dust, pollen, animals. We are protected from the outside world because of the house. So similar thing is there here in the firewall. It's like walls of your house. Okay, so that's it. And so let's see how these devices are working together. Sometimes you will be asked to draw diagrams like this. You can see the local area network, wide area network, in between the firewall is there. In firewall, you can see ports, but here you cannot see. But these ports are open for different purposes. Firewall can even control the internal traffic going out from that. So if there are information which are not matching with the corporate policy, it will also be blocked by the firewall. That means, let's say, secret information to the company, somebody is sending it out, but firewall can see that and block. So it's working both ways. Okay, the next part is about these different networks, the advantages, disadvantages. I hope you can go through these things, because like this is a kind of revision. I have given this idea, and then you can just go through and read the note. Okay, another concept before we finish today's session, that is virtual LAN, VLAN. VLAN is a LAN. It's not in a single geographical area, not essential, not need to be in a single geographical area, but these computers are from different regions, but sharing same communication media like internet, and using that a private LAN, a virtual, that is VPN. So I'm defining something else. So that's not VLAN, that's VPN. VPN is basically virtual private network. Virtual private network is basically, so otherwise you will confuse. Let me show. Is it there? So VPN, I'm just telling about the VPN. VPN is a private network, virtual private network. It's a private network over public internet infrastructure. Actually, in the VPN, what will happen? You can connect your computer to some other computer, some other known or recognized computer in the network. But between you and that other computer, the channel is encrypted. Even the network is public, no one in the internet will be able to see that what's going on through that channel. Basically, even your ISP will not know what's going on. So let's say this is really good when some sites are blocked by the ISP. Let's say SLT is your ISP, and this is your ISP. This ISP has set some rules. ISP has set some rules. These websites are blocked, but you want to access that website. So when you ask from the ISP, hey, give me, okay, for an example, I'm asking ISP, hey, please give me www.blocked.com example. I'm asking, please give me www.block.com. But you know, blocked is already blocked. That's the reason. So then this request will be denied by your ISP. Request will be denied, cancel out by your ISP. Then you have no solution because you are accessing through the ISP. But this time you are having another solution, that is this VPN. So let's say this is your VPN server. And so you are asking, let's say this website name is, website of this VPN server's name is www.x.com is your VPN server. Let's say xyz.com. That is your VPN server. And you want to access the website block.com. There is another website, but it is blocked by your ISP. This is that website, that is www.blocked example, right? Block.com. You cannot access this. But when you create a VPN, virtual private network, you will go and ask your ISP, hey ISP, please give me access to, hey ISP, please give me access to xyz.com, which is my VPN server. ISP is checking, can I have a block? This can be IP address of the VPN server, anything. ISP is checking, have I rule to block it? No, it's allowed. So you will be transferred to this one. So now you are connected to the VPN server through the ISP. This channel is secure, so ISP cannot see what's going on. This channel is secure. It's encrypted. This channel is encrypted and secure. So ISP cannot see what's going on. Basically, it can see where it's go, but what's going on cannot see. This channel is encrypted. Okay, then you're asking XYZ, hey XYZ, please give me access to block.com. So XYZ has no issue, so XYZ will go and access the block.com. It's allowed. It's a valid connection. It will be allowed. So XYZ brings this block.com to XYZ, then transfers XYZ to this VPN network. So now you can access this block.com, but not via your ISP. But the thing is, you are accessing your ISP and asking XYZ and asking XYZ to bring block.com. It brings the block.com to the encrypted channel. You are accessing block.com now without your ISP. That is what happened when government has blocked a website. Right? One government has blocked a website through ISP, but still you can access from another country. What will really happen? You have a private network over the public infrastructure that is called VPA, virtual private network. Actually, VLAN concept is something different. VLAN concept is like this. In VLAN concept, what is happening is virtually you are creating LANs. You can see this is a single switch. So if machines are connected to single switch, it will be considered as a single local area network. But in the VLAN, you can configure these 3 ports to one, these 3 ports to another, these 3 ports to another, likewise using the same switch, but still you can separate different local area networks using the same switch. So that is called the VLAN concept. Don't confuse the VLAN with VPA. Okay, at the end of the lesson, I would like to show you a small video. Just if you need, you can just take a screenshot of this. Okay, end of the day, I'm just sharing small video now. So just go through this, leisurely go through this and try to understand. So how to search that video, you have to go to Google and search for how internet works, animation by internet. Internet warriors, this animation. That is 12-minute animation. You can just go and watch this video. So that is really meaningful video, and it will give you idea about the internet traffic. Let me quickly show a few steps.
For the first time in history, people and machinery are working together, realizing a dream. A uniting force that knows no geographical boundaries without regard to race, creed, or color. A new era where communication truly brings people together. This is the dawn of the net. Want to know how it works? Click here to begin your journey into the net. Now, exactly what happened when you clicked on that link? You started a flow of information. This information travels down into your own personal mailroom, where Mr. IP packages it, labels it, and sends it on its way. Each packet is limited in its size. The mailroom must decide how to divide the information and how to package it. Now, the package needs a label containing important information, such as sender's address, receiver's address, and the type of packet it is. Because this particular packet is going out onto the internet, it also gets an address for the proxy server, which has a special function, as we'll see later. The packet is now launched onto your local area network, or LAN. This network is used to connect all the local computers, routers, printers, etc. for information exchange within the physical walls of the building. The LAN is a pretty uncontrolled place, and unfortunately, accidents can happen.
Okay, I invite you to just watch at this video. So when you click on this link, what will happen? Information will be first loaded into the small chunks called packets, and the packets will be given a label, senders, receivers, address, etc. And then it will be sent to the local area network. In the local area network, the packets can be damaged. Why? Because it is uncontrolled place. If a damaged packet is there, then it will be resent easily. Then actually, then the local router is there. Local router is, this is like a VLAN, when VLAN or the local LAN. When local area network is divided to further subnets, local router is needed, then the router is sent into the relevant network. From the local router, then the router switch. Router switch is the faster one, which is sending quickly, identifying the less traffic area. And then it will be collected by your proxy server, which is a gateway. And proxy will check whether this can be allowed or not. If it is not allowed, proxy will delete the old proxy, will damage the packet.
Are summarily dealt with.
So proxy will check the management guidelines. Then it is sent to the firewall. Firewall is like this. This is a gate. If there are corporate information sending, then firewall can detect and destroy the packet.
It can also prevent sensitive corporate information from being sent out.
Okay. So that is also a management guideline. Finally, to the router. That is basically internet router. It is connecting to the internet. Then it goes to the internet. Faster way. Different. There is uncontrolled, right? No one is monitoring. Free environment. Packets are freely flowed in and then meet the firewall at the next end, the other end, the server. You can see different gates are there. Some gates are open, some are closed. That is the nature of the firewall. If the gate is open, then it will go. If gate is closed, the packet will be discarded.
The firewall is
based on the service. Especially web service is offered, then gate 80 is offered. Email service is offered, gate 25 is offered. But if FTP service not there, it is lost. So then it will, from that it will go to the their proxy server, if there is, or if their gateway, and then actually they will be collected by. Okay, then information will be collected by like in the network local interface. It will go to the local network interface in the particular site. Then the information will be checked, and the packets will be read and filled with the information that you have requested. And that packet will be sent back to us. That is the full story as a summary. But I invite you to go to the video, go through the video. You will have a clear understanding about how internet traffic works. Right? So just search the good warriors of the net. So like, I think you can remember the name that I have searched. How internet works, internet warrior animation. Okay, with that, I think we can stop for today. Next day, let's discuss about the remaining part. Good night.
Bye, sir. Good night.